welcome to travel tips number 2 from Compass Traveler. We're going to start off with how can you immerse yourself in a respectful way into different cultures. So, how can you prepare yourself to be educated in a non-English speaking area? Well, do not expect anyone to know English. Do not ask people why they don't know English or if they should. Don't ask them to speak English. You're in a different area. Use Google Translate apps. Google Translate, you can speak into it and it will translate it for you. And learn the language. I've been learning on Duolingo Spanish, so whenever I'm in Central America, I will be equipped for that, and I can't wait for that. And it's always good to learn a language. In America, we barely know more than one language, and all over the world, people grew up learning like 5 languages. So, learn a language. Alright, what are single stories and how can I prevent myself from adapting the mindset? So, Nigerian writer Chimamanda Ngozi coins this way of thinking. It's called a single story. Look it up on YouTube, look up a single story TED Talk. It's super inspiring, it's super powerful. So basically a single story is when a story is endlessly repeated, it assumes the status of truth. Single stories can be very dangerous, not because they are untrue sometimes, but there is always some truth to a single story. But the danger is when the one story becomes the only story. So in the video, the speaker talks about how the stereotypes of Africa, she went to America for college and everyone pictured this one specific story about her. Like, they pictured lions and tigers and giraffes where she's from and that she was poor. And she went to America and she ended up liking the same music as her roommate, and she was not like what they expected, and they were expecting this whole other person, but that's because they were stereotyping her. They were just listening to one single story that the media tells you. There are hundreds of other stories, individual stories. We can't just bring all these people together and label them with one story. That's like labeling like all of America with one story, like we're fat and we're very cowboys or something. Is that gonna be true for like that New Yorker that's in Starbucks? No. So don't label people and don't label where you're going. Alright, safety and travel. So how to stay away from stereotypes. Negative press and stories give areas a bad reputation usually. Most areas you can stay safe in if you are just smart and safe. What are the differences in safety? Safety for anyone is key. Different cultures can mean different ways to look out for your safety though. So, for example, in India, a lot of people were scared for my safety. And there's like a lot of stereotyping, there's a lot of kind of views on different places, but they're not always true. And I've been backpacking in Nicaragua, I've been in the middle of Ghana, and I have never felt unsafe. So, but in India, we had to take certain precautions. If I went in any types of temples, the woman would wear a hijab, or they would wear a scarf that covers their hair, and you can't like show your wrists or show your ankles. So wearing like what I wore every day in these areas were long elephant pants, like, you know, like the long palazzo pants that you can get. Those are great for going into temples because they cover everything. And then wearing like a long sleeve t-shirt, or bringing a scarf or a shawl, and always being able to wrap that over, because sometimes it can be hot and you just want to bring it just to wrap it while you're in the temples and in the monasteries. Also, just walking around in India, we had to walk in groups, and we had to sometimes cover up more than usual, because just in different cultures they can view respect in different ways, and it's not a bad thing. It's just their culture, their ideas, their religion. So you have to respect everyone's specific culture and traditions whenever you're going, and as long as you respect, you'll be more than fine and very safe, and you'll be respected. All right, spirituality and travel. So I think combining spirituality and travel is super important and amazing. I went to Myanmar, and I went to the Shwedagon Pagoda and brought meditation and yoga into my traveling and into that trip, and it was the most meaningful trip that I have ever been on in my life. So I think retreats are great too. Yoga retreats, meditation retreats are amazing. There's so many all over the world. It's a way to kind of go to an area, meet a group of people, and learn something, come back with something, and maybe change your whole mindset and your whole mental health. So some retreats that I recommend are Transpire retreats. These are retreats that are hosted by Sky Bear, this person on Instagram that specializes in breath work. So he teaches you breath work and different types of ways to breathe. We Go trips, they have great trips and retreats. I made my own retreat on We Go trips and had a group of people come to Hawaii, and I taught them meditation, breath work, energy healing, Reiki, all kinds of things. And we also got to see all the most local areas and spots that I showed them around North Shore, Hawaii. Transpire retreat, if you look those up, those are great retreats. And if you look up yogajournal.com, they have all types of retreats all around the world. That's a great source and website to look at retreats. What is journey meditation? Or travel meditation. Meditation removes stress, so you get along better with people, feel good about yourself, sleep well at night, and are more polite to the people where you're going. So that's going to change every experience in travel. So while you're traveling, keep in mind your mindset, positive mindset, and meditation are practices that you should be daily doing, because that will make it a better experience and have you remember the experience better too. So what meditation practices should you incorporate in travel? Mindfulness, quietness, alone time, long walks, appreciating nature, going through all your senses to take in everything while traveling, and focus, and breath work. Also, feeling like you're in the now, like really being in the present moment. So I know that when I was traveling at semester at sea, a lot of times I needed to have more alone time or do a long walk by myself. It's always fun to travel alone. It really has you take in everything when you're traveling alone because you don't have any distractions of other people. But it's fun to travel in groups, of course, because then you have memories with those people. But just once in a while, take a nice walk by yourself and really absorb where you're at and really just feel it as the present moment. Also, yoga and travel is a good thing. Yoga is perfect for after a long flight, a long ride, or just plain perfect for a tiresome day. It's a way to come back to the body after a busy trip itinerary. It's a way to balance the body, and it's a perfect way to reboot the mind, body, and soul. So yeah, I would use a lot of stretching and a lot of meditation during my trips because it keeps your body active, it keeps your mind active, balanced and clear, and that's super important while traveling because sometimes you can be in stressful situations and you have to be fully ready and active and prepared to deal with anything. So these are my travel tips. I hope they were helpful. Please comment and subscribe. Comment your travel tips and what has helped you while traveling. Comment where you've traveled before and if you also love Myanmar. Also, follow my podcast. It's on Spotify under Compass Travelers, and my Instagram travel blog that has all the photos and visual of my trips under Compass Traveler, and my WordPress, which has articles and more travel tips there, which is compasstravelerwordpress.com. All right, thank you for listening, and I hope you can use these tools the next time you're traveling. Peace.